Hello, welcome back to the channel. As promised, I'm going to do a quick run through of my current 10 favourite builds for fun builds that I've been playing over the last, couple of years. Some of them have been the subject of recent build videos, others haven't. What I'll do is I'll quickly run through this. I cut it down to 10. There were more, but I took them out. I thought 10's a good number to do. I'll quickly show you what they look like on the roster screen. What I've done here, I do a lot of this sort of thing. A lot of these were in fresh start save folders of their own. What I've done is I found an old folder that had a few builds in it, took out all the rubbish ones and copied in all the decent ones, so I've got 10 sitting together. What I'll probably do with this folder is just delete it after I've done this video and go back to playing them in the folders they started off in. I'm not overly precious about it. I put a bit of time in on some of them running around on here, leveled a couple of them up, but yeah, it was just for the sake of reminding myself what they were like. Some of them I haven't played for a while, even though I say they're my favourites. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll quickly run through this screen so you get a rough idea what's coming up. Then I'll do a few little bits of gameplay of each one, and in the description of this video there'll be, where possible, I'll put all the links to the build videos and other stuff relating to these. So if you're familiar with this channel and some of the builds, a lot of this will make more sense. If you just come in and looked at this and thought, who is this prat and what's he talking about, I'll try and give a bit more information. This first build is what I started off calling the one-shot bosses build, because I was running it around in normal and finding out I could one-shot bosses with gear that I was picking up in normal. It was a fresh start character and it was a barrel of laughs. I used this in Season 5, League Season 5, got up to level 100 and only died through my own stupidity fighting the Eldritch Nemesis Kazan. I got a short video up of that death. It was just pointless and pathetic and I shouldn't have died. I had the skills, well, not me personally, the build had the skills to avoid the death, but I just didn't flip and use them. Anyway, that's a really good build. That's probably my most liked at the moment. That's an old Drain Essence build that I did last, I think it was last Halloween. It's like a vampire special. It's alright actually, I'll demonstrate that in a bit. This is a concept build. I wanted to do something that looked like a bullet hell shooter. It's got very minimal skills, and what it does is it pushes Panetti's replicating missile, I think, about as far as you can push it with elemental damage, and it's really fun to play. It's got 2 attack skills and 1 heal skill, and actually no, it's got 2 attack skills, Inquisitor Seal, and a heal skill. So you're only using right mouse button for Panetti's and buttons 1, 2 and whatever you put your heal skill on. That's a great fun build. I love it. That's the Templar Fire Eye of Reckoning spinning around thing. Get back to that. I mean, that don't really need an awful lot of explanation. That's a really old build. That's in hardcore. I did this ages ago, so I wanted to see how far I could push a pure soldier. And the answer is you can push it quite a long way. That's fun to play, and also if you're a beginner and you don't want to mess about with 2 masteries and you're thinking, oh, I just want to use 1 mastery and try and keep it as simple as possible, that's a really good thing to do. There's my elemental pets build. That was the subject of a few videos a while back, year or so back. That's great. The whole point of this was easy gear, using gear that's easy to find, and you get a really strong pet build. It's a good laugh. That's a very, very old character. That's from, well, a long time ago. And it's a Purifier. It's just great. And it looks really good. I mean, that's most of these, I mean, apart from that's got some illusions on it, that hasn't. That's what the gear looks like. It's lovely, isn't it? Purifier's dual wield, elemental damage, mostly fire, but some lightning, whatever. That's just good. A Chaos Pyro, dual wield pistol pyro, puts out a stack of damage. That's the one I used in hardcore to farm Reshalga, and I was killing Reshalga in 10 seconds and under. I just wanted 2 of the Reshalga weapons. I haven't got the build on here that uses those weapons because it's not really one of my favourites, although I had a lot of fun getting the weapons. I didn't have so much fun running around using them. Anyway, there is my Apostate. If you want to annoy people on the forum, use that character. For some reason, the ultra elite players don't like characters like this. That's no good. Your OA is too low, your DA is too low. It's so much fun to play, because see, the thing is, it's fun. It's not about, you know, using GD stash to get your numbers as high as possible and then waving your widget around going, look how cool my character is. What you've got to do is you've got to get something like that looks really stupid and looks like it's got trees growing out of its head, but is actually fun to play, in my opinion. I mean, I'm wrong, obviously, but you know. And there's the, what is that? It's a Retaliation Commando. It's got Gadra's normal helmet on, because I went and killed him in normal to get the achievement, because I couldn't be bothered trying to kill him in 30 minutes or however long it takes an ultimate. So I killed it in normal. But that's cheating. Yeah, too right. Get the gear any way you can. You know, any way you can, apart from cheesing it in some flipping third-party app that lets you create whatever gear you need. Unless that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, fine. But then don't go running around in those builds saying to people, this is the best build ever. These aren't the best builds ever, but these are all things that I've managed to do just running around in the game. Playing the game, getting the gear as quickly as possible. Right, let's start with this sucker, because this is just a laugh a minute. You'll have to ignore my awful inventory flood. Okay, so this is the one-shot boss's build. Farmable gear, that's target farmable, farmable. Yeah, sort of farmable if you can kill Ravager. I'd killed him in Elite. Group enemy farmable, same as that. Target farmable. Get it from a faction blueprint, target farmable. Yeah, you have to wait for that blueprint to drop, but you'll get it eventually. Redeemer gauntlets, either found them or made them, can't remember. I think, oh yeah, I buy that from Homestead. So I think that's the only thing that was either a drop or I bought it from somewhere. And you can look at that. I mean, that's not ultra uber gear, is it? So that's mostly stuff you can get, and you can start picking this stuff up in normal and get this character really strong really quickly. Skills are, the occultist is the main mastery. That's the one where your damage comes from, and your resistance reduction and your health and your buffs and whatever. Arcanist is just there for a whole load of spirit. That's, you get a damage buff if you get hit, and nullification takes the debuffs off you and takes positive buffs off enemies. That's your invulnerability thing that I should have used when Kaizen killed me, and that's your damage absorption. That does damage absorption, as does that, which is awesome. So there's a bunch of stuff. Like I said, there's links to the build guides and everything. I won't go on and on about this in the description. The main what sits on here, there's a resistance reduction thing, there's a health thing, there's a damage thing, there's a damage thing, there's a damage and a resistance reduction thing. That's all pretty much it, and that is cool as heck. And you can kill all sorts with this. I haven't finished Ultimate Ashes of Mammoth with it yet, but it doesn't matter. Turn your toggles on, and as people to tell me as of 1.2 patch, you won't have to do that, it'll do it for you, right? So you can shoot Dreeg's evil eye at things and they just die. And this guy can kill low carbs, a bit of a run around fight, but you can kill him. And low carbs in here, well, eventually. I'm not going to do it now, I've got videos up of this. That's the Ugol blood on the floor. So yeah, so that's fun. Like I said, have a look in the description, there's a whole pile of stuff in there about this build. Right, next up. Yeah, this is the old vampire Halloween Cabalist thing. This is pretty strong, but the gear isn't as easy to come by. I had a blueprint for the Chill Whisper helmet, and I created a Chill Whisper helmet and then transmuted it into the blade. The process of doing that is in the video for this character if you want to be, you know, thrilled beyond belief at watching someone crafting some gear. That's from a blueprint, target farmable sort of, target farmable sort of, target farmable sort of. That's from boss drop, and the rest of it is just stuff that you can get or not get or whatever. Main skill is under the Necromastery Drain Essence. There's the attack skill. Everything else is really just support stuff. There's no real attack damage skills on there. Occultist, and yeah, as with all occultists, you're going to want Blood of Dreeg and that thing. And you put whatever points into Curse of... Oh, I've got a point I haven't spent. Fascinating. Right. Is that even finished? Looks like it is. So the main ones on here. Wendigo. There's a health thing. That's a damage thing. That's a health thing. Have I got... Oh, I haven't got that other one. Whatever. Yes. Vitality, resistance reduction. Vitality. Yes, vitality damage build. So obviously not using that. Yeah, like I said, have a look at the description. There'll be Grim Tools and stuff in there. I mean, it's quite decent. It's all right. Let's go and kill something. What can I go and kill some stuff up here? Drain Essence is a channel skill, so you hold the button down. I'm just holding the button down now, and sucking the life out of everything. Stand still, spin around. It's alright. There's not a lot of distance on it though, really. You've got to wait till things run up to you. Don't know why I've got bloody pox on here. I think you could take bloody pox off. It's not really contributing much. I think I just had, well, must have got bored and thought I'd put some points into it. So you Curse of Frailty and just Drain Essence. This is what it's like in boss fights. You know, it's slow, but it's decent enough. Let's do this one next. This is different. Again, this is right up there. It's got to be in my top. Say top 3, maybe the top 5 favourite builds. So you've got a few toggles, and you've got Panetti's on right mouse button, Inquisitor Seal there, Word of Pain there, Word of Renewal there, and yes, it works. So if we go and let's go and take out some Twin Falls skeletons and whatever around here. I'll go into the main bit and I'll maybe do the boss in here because he's worth doing. I don't think I've not been in here. Okay, so this is the first time I've been in here on this character. I've got a lot of faith in it. No, not in my map navigation skills though. That's a combination of Word of Pain and Panetti's. We'll go and wake the boss up. I'll just go straight down here and do the boss without worrying about this lot. He's here. Yeah, so you got hardly any skills, and this is in Ultimate, and you can see it's very effective. And what you'll see a lot of people who know more about this than me will tell you is that Panetti's isn't the best skill ever, and Word of Pain isn't the best skill ever, and their damage drops off and you shouldn't use it and all this. But there's Panetti's, that's what I'm using there. There's Word of Pain, and you can see this isn't anywhere near maxed out. That last node there is for the elemental damage, but there's nothing else on there that's particularly useful. Word of Renewal actually buffs elemental damage, which is nice. Arcanist, I've got a whole load of stuff on here buffing damage and lowering the cost of skills, because obviously that is just going to wreck your energy, your spirit, whatever. Iskandris is decent, and Maven's obviously for the damage absorption. I can't believe I've not been here and read that thing before. I think it's because I leveled this on a merit. You tend to level things on merits, and there are places you just don't go. But I have been playing it for a while. I mean, you can always check. I mean, I should show you this on all these characters so you can see one day, so that's 24 hours, 27 hours, almost 28 hours. 8 deaths, yeah. I mentioned that in the build video for this. While you're leveling this, it's pretty weak. Well, I managed to make my version of it pretty weak. But it's alright now. Next up, yeah, this is the Fire Eye of Reckoning build. This was so much more fun than I thought it was going to be. Is that everything? I think so. Right. How far have I got on here? Prospector's Trial. Yeah, I suppose. Like a lot of these haven't completed Ultimate. These characters yet haven't completed Ultimate, but you can do it easy enough. I mean, it's not. You're in here. You're not running around in here thinking, "Oh, this is really difficult. How am I going to beat Ultimate?" Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. There's the main attack skill, maxed out, soft cap maxed out, 1 point in that, and then that's maxed out for the elemental resistance reduction. That's just on there for the fire damage and whatever. That's one of those things where you your health drops and you get a damage buff, and it's a heal buff, isn't it? Heal buff, not a damage buff. That's Ascension. I don't think I was even using that, but yeah, that's worth having. Arcanist, that's buffing damage, give you invulnerability. Maven's obviously, and the spirit buff and that thing. You get hit, you do more damage. Nullification, get rid of your debuffs if you need to. Put a couple of points in that. Devotions, I've got Fissure on Eye of Reckoning, and I've got Meteor Shower on Charge. There's a health thing, there's a resistance reduction thing, attack damage converted to health, attack damage converted to health, and attack damage converted to health. And yeah, it does work on that because Eye of Reckoning's pulling in a load of weapon damage. It's a good laugh, a heck of a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. Pure Soldier. Like I said, it's a pure soldier. It hasn't got a second mastery, so you can max out any of the skills that you want to use. You can pretty much max them out. I'm using the damage exclusive, not the defensive one, because if you don't do that, you'll find it is a little bit tedious to play because you're not doing a heck of a lot of damage. Force Wave, I've got Force Wave with Tremor on it, so you can spam it. Does less damage, but you know, it's a laugh a minute. Fighting Spirits, damage buff, all these things down here maxed out to the soft cap. Obviously no shield training because I'm not using the shield. I've got a lot of points in that. because I'm scared in hardcore. Notice it's in hardcore. Field command and whatever. Devotions. There's some I'm scared, I need healing devotions, and there's some resistance reduction and damagey stuff. Yeah, point in that one. Two-handed weapon, always get Kraken if you're using any kind of two-handed weapon. That's decent. I got that on Warcry. It's flipping hilarious, that is. But anyway. They all go up. I think I was running around earlier on this. I think I'd kill what's his face. Yeah, Craval. Yeah. See, damage dealt 224,900. It's not bad for a soldier. You could probably get it better than that, but it's not bad. That's monster infrequent target farmable kind of thing. So's that. So's that. So's that. They drop all over the place in Ugdenbog. It's alright, +1 to soldier. This stuff just drops. Yeah, I think it's just a random drop. That's rubbish. That's got all chance on block stuff on it. It's not really helping me. I got that from Craval. That's probably better. I might swap that round. Might stick them on instead of that Warmongers thing. But you know, it's not exactly rocket science playing this build. I mean, you run into things, hit them with Warcry. I've got 2 mobility skills. I've got that and that. 2 mobility skills, Force Wave and Warcry, and that's it. Watch Warcry now. Watch this. It's great, isn't it? Yeah, it's alright. You don't need to see me playing this character. I mean, it's obvious what you do. You run around and hit things. So that's a soldier. Here we go, elemental pets. Look at that. You go, oh, why are you dual wielding that? Well, I'll tell you why now. That's that Bismail dagger thing that comes from a blueprint. It's a faction blueprint. So yeah, so all this stuff. So that's from a faction blueprint. I made 2 of them. And that you just buy it from the faction shop. That's why they look the same. You can target farm that. That's from Zarya, so you can target farm that. That looks like I bought that from Bismail faction shop and bought that from Bismail faction shop. It's just some rubbish drop. It's just got some pet stuff on it. It's just rubbish. I mean, you can get better gloves than that. They're kind of average. It's got an of the wild suffix on them. The Overseer, I believe you buy the blueprint from Mammoth Resistance for that. I think you do. That's just like a decent drop. Some melee dual wielding, and yeah, so that lets you dual wield weapons. It means if you've got that, you don't have to use that slot to get a dual wield relic. If you've got some item, I mean, most of the stuff on that, the resistances are alright, but if it's for it's kind of wasted for a pet build, but it lets you use 2 of them, and they're just crazy. Alright, let's get these. So the pets I've got, there's no skeletons, you'll be pleased to hear. It's just them. I think in patch 1.2 they'll default to aggressive. I don't want my bird aggressive actually. Where's the bird? I want him to be normal or even defensive. Yeah, I've not got really very far in Ultimate on this. So I did the video series and then started doing something else. Hardly any skills. But these elemental pets just wreck everything. Yeah, it's a pet build. I don't know what else you need to know. There's a bunch of videos I'll link in the description. Yeah, so it's pet stuff. So you got, that's dropping some resistances. There's the bird. There's the dog. There's Bonds of Bismail. I didn't bother going to the end. And yeah, so it's just sort of it's just that. And then on the shaman side, it's just that pet and Mogdragons, and that's it. And the devotion stuff is, that's on Hellhound, that's on Curse of Frailty because I cast it, that's on Stormhound. What else have I got? That's on some Briarthorn. Yeah, it's just pet stuff and random stuff. Barrel of Laughs. That is good, actually. I maybe don't sound that enthusiastic, but it's fine. Okay, what have we got left to do? Just them four. We'll do him first, why not? Okay, so this was, I did a recent build series on Retaliation Commando. It's just, it's got so many toggle skills. Gonna make sure they all switch on, right. And then you go and find, what was I fighting on here that was difficult? Nothing, I don't think. Oh, actually, yeah, down here. No. So you've got, you can use skills or you can just stand there. I'm just standing there. You can use Blitz to get around a bit. But yeah, mostly you just stand there and don't do anything and everything just dies around you while your extreme health regen keeps your health maxed out. I'm not using any of the skills. I mean, all the skills do is just make you stronger and do more retaliation damage. You don't need to use them particularly. There I am standing in the middle of it all. So the gear on this, yeah, you can get that from the Ancient Grove. There's a level 50 one, level 75 one, level 94 one. So you can just go and get that. Golem rings, farm them. Ronoprax's Sting. You can get much better amulets than that. That's just on there for the retaliation damage. I could do one with better resistances. That's the key part of the build. You can farm the Hiram, farm the vendor in Steel Cap and get the best one of those you can get. You can go there in normal and get ultimate level ones if you're level, because they scale to your level in the shop, so that's just easy. There's Calagadra's Gaze. I killed him in normal, got that just for the retaliation and the +1 to all skills. I think before I was using that I was wearing, what was I wearing? I can't remember. What the hell was I wearing? Don't know. There's all sorts of options. I can't remember what helmet I was wearing. It's annoying now. Don't know. Anyway, you can sort of target farm that. I bought that from somewhere. Is that from Kaiman's? I think it is. Yeah, if you get Mythical Black Steel Gauntlets drop, that's probably the best thing for a physical retaliation build. It's just some random shoes. Farm Icrix scales off Icrix. They drop all over the place in Ugdenbog, and Citadel's okay. I mean, you can get better ones than that. That's alright. Dreeg sack leg guards, yeah, you can farm them off the first boss of the Hidden Path quest. So it's all retaliation and tankiness. All this stuff down here, this is all tanky stuff. That's tanky and retaliation. That's retaliation. Blitz is a 1-pointer. That's just there for the defensive ability and increased armor, really. Demolitionist, there you go. Retaliation stuff, survivability. That's got a 1 point in it because that's got reduced targets resistances, so it's just a bit strange. So you're dropping that on things to reduce their resistances so they take more damage from your retaliation damage. Same with that, and that is retaliation. And yeah, and you've got obvious retaliation thing there, obvious retaliation thing there. That's alright, that's alright. And that's gonna damage ranged attackers if your normal retaliation doesn't hit them. It's okay, it's kind of fun if you're into retaliation builds. What should we do? Purifier. Look at the state of that. Right, so with this thing, this is just guns. I mean, look at that. I can't say to you, this is a new player build. I had this thing, look at this, look at the time I spent on this. Elapsed time, 5 days. That's in hardcore. 5 days, 1 hour, 28 minutes. Whereas you could go into GD Stash and create this and it would have like 5 minutes game time on it. But do you want to do that? Or maybe you do. I'm not saying don't do it. But then, do you really want to waste 5 days? The thing is, you don't have to spend 5 days of your life to get this gear. I spent way more time than that because I had most of this gear before I did this character, because I had other characters in hardcore that had already had loads of this stuff drop. Mythical Arcanum Sigillus, 137% elemental damage on that one and 114% elemental damage on that one. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's pretty good. Mythical elemental balance things, Mythical Heart of Olzuin, full justice set, full mythical justice set. Yeah, I think popular opinion is that you put mythical Sources of Barbaros on for the buff to damage once you get hit or whatever, but they're alright. I like the ether resistance on that. That's okay. It's probably not the best in slot item, but because I didn't cheat, I had to go with what I had. Sorry. I keep taking the piss. I shouldn't. Yeah, look at that. 91% fire resistance, and look how much over is it? 22. Yeah, it's not over by that much, but it doesn't matter because you've got whoop, wrong button. Where's me? I thought. There you go. Because you got that, it puts it all up. So it's now 55 over. This thing has no trouble taking Lokar out in 20 seconds. Trust me, it's just, that's what it's there for. Skills, Fire Strike, and ranged expertise, bursting rain. Yes, you got all this stuff. And you've got a whole load of devotions that do pretty colours everywhere. You've got Meteor thing, you've got that. And you've got that. So probably the prettiest looking thing. Again, it's an auto shooter. You just run around and shoot at stuff and you've got hardly any skills to use, right? So that's that one. Before we get to the joke, Pyro, this is great. Like I said, this is the one I used to farm Reshalga. It's tempting to go and do it now. Again, it's not new player friendly. You've got to have the Darkblaze set, which is that gun, that hat, that amulet, and that belt. Otherwise, I mean, you can do it with stuff, Bloodsworn guns and whatever. I could probably do a build video showing how to do this without all this gear, and you get a halfway decent character. I think, yeah, he's been collecting weapons. Look at that, look. Blaze Heart, Chill Heart, Mythical Storm Heart. One day I'll do something with them. Again, this is in hardcore, so I've got to be careful. There's some Mythical Sources of Barbaros. They're alright if you get them drop. Otherwise, Storm. Oh, there it is. Do you know, I knew I had one of them. I thought I had it in normal. I got it in hardcore. See, that's the one-handed weapon that works with Primal Strike. So you can do Primal Strike with a one-handed weapon. And the idea was to get 2 of them. I need to do something with that one day. Right, so anyway, Reshalga. Watch me die now. How'd you get there? This way. Yeah, blink and you miss it. I just love how quickly things die. is stupidly strong. Like I said, most of these kills on here with this are under 10 seconds. What have we got going on here? It doesn't matter. Right, check this out now. Yeah, that was definitely under 10 seconds. I don't know how far under 10 seconds it was. She didn't drop her weapon, doesn't matter. So yeah, fire strike and a bunch of stuff, and I think it's, yeah, there you go. That chaos thing down there on Curse of Frailty. There's, oh yeah, Hunger and Void. Chaos. Chaos is a good damage type. It's half a minute. Right, so that's that one. Finally, the Apostate. It's just hilarious. Now, this was another one I did on a merit, so I could go and get the Ugdenbog gear earlier. And this is kind of extreme damage conversion. I don't know, I'll just get away from that, it'll just annoy me. It's extreme damage conversion. That thing converts the fire damage to vitality damage on Inquisitor Seal. And that hat converts fire damage to vitality damage on Aura of Censure. So your elemental damage Inquisitor stuff becomes vitality damage stuff. I've got that as well. And then you've got the Namadia's Eye, which converts piercing to vitality on ranged expertise and adds a bunch of stuff to spectral binding. Apostate is Inquisitor and Necro. Inquisitor dual wielding with that, obviously, but I'm not dual wielding. It's just on there for the attack speed, really. There's a bit of cold damage coming off that, but again, a lot of this is getting converted, elemental damage is getting converted to vitality. Word of Renewal, just being used for the heal stuff. Deadly Aim, you get a crit in and you get a damage buff. Inquisitor Seal with vitality damage on it, or essentially with vitality damage on it. Necro stuff, vitality attack, a vitality thing to fire off if you need it. That thing, sort of a debuffy thing. Toggle skill, damage buff, and a boss thing that you put on the boss, and what's it do? 380% damage absorbed reflected. Yeah. Again, it's a vitality build, so you've got vitality, I got that going on up there for some reason, and vitality damage there, and that thing. That's pretty good. Tip the scales. Actually, you get hit and all of a sudden they're getting damaged and you're getting health back. I'll have a go at Craval with this guy. I've not done him in Ultimate before, which is probably going to be a bit of a risk, but it'll be fun, won't it, for this video. And like I said, I've copied these characters in from other folders, so if it dies, it's not gone. Oh, but you're cheating. Yeah, I know. But I'm recording it and you'll see it. So if I die, it's, you know, it's up on YouTube for all eternity, isn't it? Oh, he lied. He said this build was good. I think I'm going to get killed. I don't think this is going to survive this. I reckon it's going to be too much. Yeah, look, that's not so good, is it? I should have more faith in my builds. It was looking a bit iffy, but I'm going to survive it. Come on, Craval, just give up. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. I should have more faith. So that's it. So that's all of them. Yeah, have a look in the description. I think I've done them all, haven't I? So what's my favourite? Well, I do love that one. That's probably number one. It's probably maybe number two. Although I love that one, and that's just great. And that was my idea, and that surprised me with how good it was, and that's just fantastic. Actually, if someone said to me now, you've got to go and play through you've got to play for an hour on one of those builds, which one would you choose? Yeah, that one probably. The Panetti's thing. It's very relaxing. Yeah, check the video description. There'll be build guide links and all sorts of stuff in there. That's my top 10. Hope you like that one. Feel free to have a right or go in the comments. They all use Inquisitor. Well, some of them do. How many use Inquisitor? That one does. And that one definitely does. And that one does. Yeah, alright. I thought there would have been more. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.